after a while, the door to the tavern will open, and in walks, a very big, bulky guy, and he has a peg leg. So you hear that knocking along the wood.
Yeah.
And he is sort of wearing a much fancier version of what the guards have been wearing, and it does have he does wear red with the black lion on it that you've seen around and is in this tavern. And he just sort of walks in and sort of takes a look around, and he eyes you, and then he'll start to slowly make his way over. But
I greet him. I just kind of wave.
Sure, yeah. So he'll walk over, and he doesn't say anything at first, but he has a tricorn hat on. He'll sort of take that off and set that down, and he'll take his overcoat off and he'll wrap that around the chair. So he's taking his time to make himself comfortable, and then he'll sit down and he says, "Greetings. My name is Eliander. Welcome to Saltmarsh."
Hail to you, Eliander. This is my companion, Travik. I am Falagar. Could I get you something? A drink or a meal?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Thank you. Same.
I've heard of your deeds and your plans, and so I thought I'd just like a little word with you.
Oh, I thank you. Yes. I'm not I thank you, but yes. I used the wrong word. I thank too, prematurely. I just meant like,
yeah.
Yes. Go on.
My name is Eliander, and I am sort of the captain of the guard here. I am a representative of the king.
Of the what?
The king.
Oh, king. Okay.
Saltmarsh is a city that the king would like to exert some influence over. He wants this to become a major trade destination within his kingdom.
Okay.
And we believe that you could help make that happen.
Oh, great.
And so I am here to just sort of talk about a vision that I have and see if we find ourselves in agreement and perhaps we could do business together.
Yes, I just want to make sure I got this straight. So basically, the village or the town of Saltwater, or Salt. I'm sorry.
Saltmarsh.
Saltmarsh, and the king, he wants to. This is a king that's kind of separate from Saltmarsh, right?
Correct.
Yeah, he wants to do like a joint, like a collaboration.
So yes, so Saltmarsh is part of his kingdom.
It is,
but he sort of rules mostly in the north, and Saltmarsh is sort of in the south. Okay, so he seems to try to want to, solidify his power in the south. Yeah, by making this a major trade destination.
History check real quick. What do I know about this? About the king? Is he a good and fair king? Shall I roll for that, or?
Yeah, make a history check.
Okay, this is a B. I guess it must be a natural 20 when I rolled a B, and it's 28, but it's a B, and apparently maybe it's a natural 20. I'll say natural 20, 28.
Awesome.
Perfect. You know what?
So,
I may not be getting these rolls during combat, but I'm getting them in some, the way some people might see it, where it counts. When this is an actual role playing of the game, and that's what I love about it.
Absolutely. So you roll the 20, so that also grants you a heroic inspiration.
Oh.
So if you look on your character sheets, sort of next to your hit points, there's a box that says heroic inspiration. So you can go ahead and click that empty box, and it should fill up with a little icon.
You said where my hit points are? It says current and max and temp.
So, yep, to the left of that, there's a little empty box.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. It's the coloring is like very hard
It,
to see.
yeah,
Okay, so I
yeah,
clicked it. Now there's like a sunshine kind of
exactly,
icon.
exactly.
Okay.
So basically, you can use your inspiration and give yourself a reroll
Yes.
on a dice, and it can be any roll. So if you're doing damage and you roll a one, you're like, ugh, you can use your inspiration and re-roll it. Or if you're doing death saving throws, you can
Yes.
use that if you like roll a one or something like that. So
Right.
any roll you want, you can get a free re-roll with your inspiration.
And they never expire. And can I accumulate? Can I accrue more? Can they stack or?
You cannot stack them. Nope. So you have one,
And
and
it.
Travic does have one, so he must have picked one
Oh.
up from last session.
Oh,
So you
great.
both
Okay.
have one. You will want to use it because yeah, they don't
Yeah.
stack.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Especially, yeah, in combat, if I am in a life and death situation, like it could have gone badly if it was a real
exactly.
bad fight and not a owlbear, and I was getting those ones, the low rolls. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So with your 28, um, I am using some lore that's
sure,
from
okay,
D&D's history.
okay,
So it is King Scotty, and my name is Scott, but that has no relation to the
yeah,
king.
okay,
His name is King Scotty. That's his last name.
okay.
Uh, his first name is Kimbertos, so it's King Kimbertos Scotti.
King Bertos Scott. Okay, got it.
And so yeah, with a 20, you know some of the history with him.
Oh, great.
As king, he's known as the commoner. He was actually a ranger
Oh,
before he became king.
oh,
So because he's a commoner, he does have some weaknesses. He's not a military commander. He's much more of the people.
yes, I was
So
going to say, yeah.
there was a time when he wanted to expand his kingdom in the north. And so he did wage war against various surrounding kingdoms. And during the wars, he did gain land,
Okay,
but he couldn't hold what he captured. So slowly, all the kingdoms regained their land. They sort of pushed the king's forces back.
ah,
And so he's sort of back where he started. He sort of waged those wars and he has nothing to show for it.
got
So
it. It
that's
makes
why
sense.
so that's why he's now sort of focusing to the southern part of his kingdom.
Got
So
it.
he's
Okay.
like, I tried to expand in the north, failed. So now I'm going to look to the south and try to strengthen the south. And let's not focus on war. Let's focus on trade,
On
and let's
trade,
try to
yeah, that's a
just
very good
become
idea.
more
Much
more
better.
wealthy. So,
I agree.
so,
Yeah.
so that's sort of his plan, and that's why he's sending people down here.
Okay. I
Um,
I, I want to bring up also uh, King, my lord, Scott.
yeah,
Um, I'm sure, or maybe you haven't heard, but I have plans also in starting this Adventurers Guild. I think we could work something out too together. But the Adventurers Guild is not so much, like a military thing, or we're not trying to wage war. It's just more of um, a business of helping people that it can range from anything from bandits that threaten maybe a neighboring village, or some local theft going on, all the way up to doing investigative work, which is the most recent thing that we just did. And and we make a little bit of coin with that. But I mean, right now I don't know how to price these things. I do feel quite bad, charging people, but maybe I'll leave that up to you for the pricing, and you guys get whatever kind of cut or whatever, and we can get a little bit, to kind of help out, with this whole trade business. What do you think?
we are experiencing some pushback, shall we say, from the locals. They do
Mm.
not appreciate the king having much influence down here. So I do see an opportunity here.
Oh, great.
we would approve you having an adventurer's guild and performing adventurer duties here in the
Sure.
city and the surrounding area. That would be good for us because you would be separate from us. So one of my wishes would that I don't exert much authority over you. It would be better if you were a separate entity on your
Okay,
own,
understood.
but I would also expect that you would respect the king's wishes as well.
Oh, yes, of
So
course, my lord.
certainly we wouldn't want you to step on anything that the king is getting involved in. But
Of course.
that allows you freedom, I hope. You would see
Yes.
that you could operate separate from us.
Okay. Okay.
One of the issues that we've run into here in Saltmarsh, and this connects to your previous deeds at the manor house.
Ned, right?
Exactly. We have run into all sorts of smuggling operations that have been operating in Saltmarsh. And it seems that a large population of the city has their hands in smuggling. There was a time when the king was waging war in the north, and that's where his focus was. While the wars in the north were happening, here in the southern part of the kingdom, pirates were rampant. And unfortunately, the king could not spare the resources of the north to come address the pirates. As a result, the people resorted to smuggling because they felt the king had left them vulnerable to the pirates.
Great.
So they have resentment towards the king that now, after he's had his fun up north, he's trying to come down here after his failures. That is how they see things. So they are hesitant to accept the king because they feel betrayed by him. Some of them would say that. And so they also fear that, or how Saltmarsh might change as a result of the king's influence. They are happy. They wanted the pirates gone, but unfortunately the king was very slow to act because he had his focus elsewhere, and the people were sort of left to fend for themselves. So that's sort of a political struggle that is happening within this city. There are a couple of clearly delineated factions. There are people like me, the loyalists, who are here to enact the wishes of the king. But then there are the traditionalists who would like Saltmarsh to stay Saltmarsh and would prefer that the king's influence be very little. So that is sort of the political struggle that I'm finding myself in this city. So again, if you're separate from us, that's a good thing.
Yeah. That means we can, speak. How can I put this? How can I phrase it? Speak to the people without them having, thinking that, the king is commanding us to do this kind of thing, and they might be more trustworthy of the guild because, your name is not attached, even though, we have like an agreement kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
I understand.
Exactly.
Okay.
So of course, I can offer you assistance if you need it, because of course we are the town
Sure.
guard. But I'm afraid that the situation with the manor is yet unresolved.
Okay.
You delivered the prisoner, and you delivered to guards who are loyalists. So, but we fear that if the traditionalists, the smuggler part of the city, find out that we have this figure, we don't want any sort of retaliation from them, and we certainly don't want the appearance of enforcing our will on someone.
Right. I
And
just want to make sure I understand something. it sounds to me like the traditionalist, the traditional way of the way Saltmarsh has been running. It's a little bit cutthroat, because some people, as you said, had to result to smuggling and doing some illicit or illegal things, things that they don't want to do, that they would rather not do if they found a better way, a more a legal way. So this sounds quite bad. Am I understanding that correctly? And the king wants to get rid of all of this, right, and make everything work in
Yes,
harmony.
the king
Good.
the
Okay.
king certainly would like to get rid of the smuggling, but
Yeah.
from the traditionalist point of view, smuggling is now their business.
Is like their thing, right? They're so
It
used
is,
to it.
they see that now as their trade, so they are very hesitant to
Got it.
give that up. But right
Whereas
now,
whereas the smuggling could be replaced with regular trade and illegal,
exactly,
and be the same
exactly.
result.
So we now have someone who is the traditionalists would see as someone on their side as being a smuggler. So we would ask that you help us finish the
Okay.
problem with the manor. What we
Okay.
have done is we have readied some ships.
Okay.
So
I
we
think I
are
know where
ready
this is
to
going. Okay, keep
we
going.
are ready to deploy the ships to the manor to attack them from the sea. But we would appreciate it if you and your companion would sort of go through the front door to
Yeah,
handle any
diplomatically.
non-combatants
Yes,
necessarily.
understood.
So we would take the brunt of the force head on, but if you could go in from the rear, that would be most appreciated.
Okay, so more like, how about even before we begin any kind of attack, but be at the ready and maybe kind of shadow us as we're going in, to be ready for anything, but have them, kind of surround the place just in case, so there's no kind of surprise. We try to go in there. We're going to be kind of like your envoy, I think that's the word for it, like a diplomat, and try to talk things out with, these smugglers, and see if we can work some kind of deal out, and maybe have them give up that smuggling, and kind of see your side of things, and come, join the trade business versus smuggling, because when it comes down to it, they are basically the same thing. It's only one is done illegally, and trade is the legal way of what smuggling is doing. Just one is legal, one's illegal. But when you do it legally, you're not hurting anyone. Whereas with smuggling, people can just slit your throat, and you're dealing, in the back alleys, and it's quite dangerous. Something like that. How does that idea sound to you?
I like that idea a lot. If this can be handled diplomatically, that would be the ideal
Oh,
solution.
great. Do you happen to have other fellow, maybe diplomats as well that can, are they called diplomats or scholars, or, people that, are they called, other diplomats that can accompany us, Travik and myself. So it's not just us, but we have other people that can, other diplomats that can, and scholars that can come with us.
Myself. Well,
Great.
there's another part of this, I should say. There
Sure. Okay.
is a town council, and I am a part of that.
Oh, great. Okay.
And but the people leading the council are the traditionalists. So there are a couple of high-profile traditionalists who run the council, but I'm a bard. There is also
a bard?
No, sorry, on board with.
Oh,
the
I'm on board.
council.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
The missing piece I have yet to bring up are the dwarves, as he sort of points to Travik. The dwarves
hey.
actually have a mine nearby. They're actually a little further out from the mansion. And the mines have been given a writ from the king to develop a mining operation. Again, the traditionalists oppose this. They do not want the mine to prosper, so because
can
they
continue
believe it
to
will bring
smuggle.
in lots of wealth for the king. But we do have a dwarf who sits on the council as well. Um, so we do have other people just besides us. We do have a dwarven community that we're trying to also integrate. But again, they sort of the dwarves and the guards, they stick to this tavern, whereas the traditionalists sort of have their tavern sort of on the docks. So there is some, we sort of stay out of their tavern, they stay out of ours. So there's some separation there.
Okay.
But uh, the dwarf is in the mines and is unavailable, and I'm afraid that I would loathe to find myself in a position where you are unable to protect me. I'm afraid that I am the king's voice here, and I really cannot put myself in any danger. I hope you
Understandable.
understand.
Yes.
So unfortunately, I have no one to send with you.
Okay, so another. It is just Traffic and myself. Perhaps a couple guards to kind of accompany us. A guard or two, or three. What
If you would like some guards, I can provide some guards. However,
Sure.
I would ask that they show up without
Your
the
seal.
symbol of the king. Exactly.
Yeah, understandable. Okay. Okay, that sounds acceptable. And anything to, what is, how do I phrase it? To not alleviate, but to divert war, or to prevent it from any kind of war. I think it's a good thing. So we will absolutely try to, handle it diplomatically. However, just be at the ready in case things don't go right, and they just.
You are a mage, are you not?
I am, yes, sire.
I'm afraid we are short of spellcasters here in Saltmarsh.
Oh, I'm glad to be here to lend my services.
But perhaps you have some sort of magical way to communicate with someone?
Would that be prestigitation? That seems like something where I can,
So that's not really
it
used
is not.
for
I have message.
talking. So yes, you do have message.
Okay.
So with that, you do have to sort of point to someone you can see, and then you can
see.
sort of telepathically deliver a message to them.
Oh, so they have to be kind of close by.
So, yeah, what he can suggest is if we send a man to sort of hide along the beach, then you can send that person a message. They can then alert the ships, which will be at the ready.
You're right. To attack or defend or whatever, if need to be.
Precisely.
Understood. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds great. I'm still getting a handle of all my spells. So
yeah, exactly.
I see it now. Okay, that sounds like a great idea.
Very well. Yes, I will get a few guards ready for you then.
Oh,
and I can send them here.
Okay,
when you're
great.
ready.
And we'll prepare for it, and I'm sure we'll, we'll do a little bit of shopping, for gear and provisions and everything, for this trip. And then, that's when we'll be able to do it.
Would you like to do this during the night? Would you find that preferable?
That might work. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do it at night.
We will plan on that then.
Okay, great.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm glad that we find ourselves in agreement. And
Thank
so I
you,
hope
my
this
lord. Yes,
is the beginning of a prosperous relationship.
I feel exactly the same way. Yes, I feel it. I feel as if it is. Yeah, it will absolutely be.
So he'll sort of give you a bow, and then he'll start to grab his hat, put it on, grab his overcoat, and
Wow,
make his way out.
that's great. I love it. One of the things we have to try to help the king out with is since he's not really a military strategist, we need to get someone who's I'm sure he has military people, but maybe someone who's an expert at strategizing, like a military advisor, or someone who's a true expert, and have him work for him and for that. We'll work on that in
Absolutely.
the future. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm guessing we're starting to near the adventure. This is like going to be a start of another adventure, right? For the next time.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to sort
Yeah.
of wrap it up here, we can
Mainly,
definitely do
yes.
that.
It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
been it's been an hour and a half, a little over, and I'm
Okay.
so
Yeah, yeah.
worried that I'm gonna run out of room
Gotcha.
and have problems, with
Yes,
the
this is a
recording.
great place to stop then. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, guys, and you've been recording this as well, Scott.
Yep, yep.
Oh, this is brilliant. So, I mean, you'll be able to upload this. So, guys, I'm sure it's going to look differently on his side. I have ambient music going on, but however way Scott has his setup is going to look different from mine. So, if you like, please, if check some of mine out. Then also check out Scott's, and on Scott's channel again is going to be down below in the description box. Check out this adventure. What is the name of this adventure, so I properly know how to title it? And I really should find a proper title for the other place. Like, I'm gonna call the last episode that we did the name of that manor. What was that called? That mansion, or whatever, the manor that we were in.
I don't think it has me.
You don't think?
I don't know. I don't know if
I
that's
think it just I think it just called it the haunted house, because at the time it was kind of the beginning of that. And it was like a deception thing, which it turned out to be not really haunted. Remember, and that's kind of cool. So maybe I'll keep it that title.
Yeah, right now, I mean, right now, it's, to me, this is just the Falagar campaign. But if you like have an idea of what you want to call your adventurers guild, like maybe that'd be a great name, like your adventure guild name. And this is just sort of leading up to that.
Okay. Or, well, yeah. I was thinking of actually calling it like something along the line of Dreadwood Forest.
Oh,
it's called Dreadwood. Yeah, just
Dreadwood Forest. Yeah.
The Dread. I'll come up with something, but integrate Dreadwood Forest.
Yeah.
Like what lurks in Dreadwood Forest, or something like that. I'll come up with something.
Gotcha. Yeah,
and if you like, you can use that same title or call it something else. But guys, check out not just this one, but when you're done, check how things are in his channel if you prefer. If you gravitate more towards Scott and his style, watch it on Scott's channel. What I might do though is split this in two, this adventure being like an hour and 35 minutes really. So I'll probably cut this in half if you want. Watch part one here and then watch part two on his channel, or something like that. Or if Scott, if you upload it as one whole thing, then just kind of begin somewhere in the middle of his campaign, you know what I mean? If you want to watch half here, half there, or half there, half here, it doesn't really matter, or all of it on his channel. But guys, I want you guys to show some support to my very good friend and now DM Scott, from Slice of Scott. Great guy, and look forward to his future Let's Plays, Neverwinter Nights. Yeah, and I guess anything you want to add to that?
No, just thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, this is fun.
You.
I'm having a blast, and I haven't really got my channel up and going yet, but I'm working on it, and we'll start to get to cranking out some videos. So, thank you very much for having me on. I'm enjoying myself and appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, my friends, and again, if you want to join our campaign, be sure to also join. You could reach out to Scott on his channel or me. Also join our Discord, the Adventurers Guild, and you can, kind of chat over there and let Scott know or me that you'd like to join this campaign. It's probably best you let Scott know, because he's, the DM. Let him know that you want to to join, whether with your own character or maybe, I guess Scott, yeah, you probably might have to generate a character for
Oh
people
yeah.
if they're not too
Yep,
familiar.
they have pre-made characters, but they also have very simple ways. You just have to click a couple buttons and they'll make a character for you too. So yeah,
Oh, very cool.
all sorts of ways. Yeah, yeah.
So whether you're a veteran at the game or you're new to it, it doesn't matter. We don't turn away anyone. So anyone who wishes to play, please, please. The Adventurers Guild needs you, right? Okay, so I'm going to end the recording before I run out of room. I'm getting a little worried about that. And thank you again, and see you.
Thank you.